What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. So we've been doing these expansion rebuilds lately, and they've been a ton of fun, I'm not gonna lie. We just did Las Vegas, and we did Alaska, and someone commented, I think it was Cobra Kai, shout out to him. I think that's a good show. I haven't actually watched it, but I've seen the original movies or whatever. But that's besides the point. We're bringing a team to Hawaii, basically, and there's a name that I didn't know what it meant, but I learned, and it's cool. So we're gonna jump in and do a Hawaii expansion rebuild in 2K25, because more than likely, it probably won't ever happen, but it's fun to do things like this in 2K, so let's get into it. Before we get into today's video, make sure you guys drop a like on this one and subscribe if you're new to this channel. As always, greatly appreciate it. Especially drop a like if you want to continue to see these expansion rebuilds. You guys seem to enjoy them, so make sure you let me know by dropping a like. That way I know you guys want to see me continue these. And I've been trying to do them differently. Obviously, we've done more than two on 2K25, but we've done two in a row, and now we're on our third one in a row. And we'll find ways to do it. But also subscribe if you're new. We're on the road to 50,000 subs. And like YouTube tells me, like 64 or 57% of the people that watch these videos aren't subscribed. So if you do follow that, change that as we're on the road to 50,000 subs. So, like I said, the name that I did not know, I looked up kind of like a created, team for Hawaii, and the name was Honu or Honu. I don't know how to say that, but I guess it refers to the green turtle, and it's like their good luck thing, or it promotes good luck, longevity, and peace, or something like that. You learn something new every day. So obviously I usually just simulate the draft and let 2K draft my team, and it's pretty similar to what we have. Honestly, we've been getting Jeremy Grant every freaking video, but it honestly doesn't matter at the end of the day, because this is just our starting point. We obviously build the team the way we want to, no matter what. So in the Vegas one, we just drafted Cooper Flag and kind of stayed patient. In the Alaska one, we were aggressive and made a trade right away for a superstar. I think I might, well, I'm going to try to play, I don't know if there's a different way to approach things, but I think this time we at least won't we won't trade for a superstar immediately. I kind of want to just see how we do. Obviously, you should be getting a good draft pick, and then hopefully you can draft somebody different. So these jerseys are pretty cool. Are also sponsored by Dole, which is cool. I think they obviously make pineapple and other fruit or whatever. Maybe they don't make them, they sell them, or whatever they do with them, but yeah, that's our sponsor, which is also really cool. So at the end of year one, obviously we'll kind of evaluate where we're at. The main thing is finding the star to build around, and I really wanted it to be, whoops, I need to turn off injuries, by the way, as well. But the one thing I wanted to do is I wanted to have this team represented by a player from Hawaii, but unfortunately there's not a single player. I guess they are off. Okay, interesting. I don't think there's a single player that's from Hawaii that's currently in the NBA. There's been players in the past, but not currently, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. So I'll see you guys at the end of year one, and we'll see how this team finishes out. Obviously, expectations are not very high for this team, but we'll see. So at the end of year one, Jokic wins MVP, Sarr is your Rookie of the Year, Russ is your 6th-man Giannis defensive player, Jalen Williams is your most improved, averaging 7 and 9 for the Hawaii Honu, which is interesting. I don't know if I'm saying that incorrectly. I apologize if I am. But the jerseys are really cool. As you can see, we kind of have like a sea turtle wing texture, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Not totally educated, I guess, on that, but here is your all NBA teams, all defense first team and all defensive second team. So we obviously didn't make the playoffs, which was expected. We were really bad. So here were your player stats. You had 19 from Clarkson, 14 from Jeremy Grant, 12 from Fred VanVleet, and 11 from McConnell, 9 from Sumo, and 9.5 from Bol Bol. So let's go ahead and simulate the playoffs, and let's see how this goes. As you're going to have Dallas and Minnesota. Dallas and New York, like usual. It's either like New York, Minnesota, or Dallas, usually in the finals. And the Mavericks went on to win it all in 5, even though they've had the worst luck this season. I guess they brought it on themselves, though. But for the lottery, let's see if we get lucky to start things off. That would be kind of an awesome start, obviously. That would really put us in a good position as projected the second best odds. As you can see, we have the Mexico City flight as well with this one. I just picked the random one. Let's see if Hawaii gets lucky and gets a top pick here. So we get number 5. So Mexico City, the new expansion team, gets number 1. We get 5. We can still get a good player at 5. That's fine. I'm just hoping it's not VJ Edgecombe or Cooper Flag. I mean, Flag probably won't fall to us, but obviously I'm really hoping we don't get VJ Edgecombe. So we just had him in yesterday's video. So let's see how the draft board will fall to us. And also, well, I mean, if we don't get one of the top 4 prospects, which I meant to go look at mock drafts, we could get Trey Johnson out of Texas, I think, or something like that. So there's Maluwak as well, Jeremiah Fears. So there's some options, but we'll have to see how the draft board falls. Number 1 is going to be Ace Bailey to Mexico City. Okay. Number 2 is going to be Flag to Utah. Number 3 is going to be Caspers. Okay, so Edgecombe might fall to us. Dylan Harper. Oh, you know what? I didn't expect this, but Dylan Harper falls into our laps at pick 5, and you bet your ass I'm taking him. So welcome to Hawaii, Dylan Harper. Very happy to have you. Very cool. So that was very lucky, but we will take it and not look back and not even, ask questions. So we'll take Kanan Catchings here, and that would be a really good start. So the player we look to build around is going to be Dylan Harper, which is awesome. So welcome Kanan Catchings as well, and then here's your option. So obviously, it goes without saying, for Evan Bleed's $45 million can absolutely be declined. Now, I will say it's obviously a team option. We could use it to make a trade or something, but I'd rather just have the money freed up. So Jalen Williams was really good for us, and then Drummond declines his player option, so that's fine. Qualifying offers, Jordan Goodwin. Probably ain't going to worry about him too much. And then for free agency, we probably have some cap room if I had to guess, but I'm probably not going to be going too crazy if I had to guess. But we'll see. So now I need to figure out how I'm going to get rid of some of these contracts, because the one thing I will say is Jordan Clarkson was just really good for us. He's on a 1-year deal. So the one big contract you have to deal with is obviously Jeremy Grant's, which it's really annoying to have to deal with that for three expansion rebuilds in a row. He's been on my team every freaking time, and I'm sick of it. But we'll deal with it, I guess. And then McConnell, I wouldn't mind getting rid of that contract too. I feel like there's some team that could use him. So I think we're going to go in and start with trading Clarkson and McConnell. We're probably going to be stuck with Jeremy Grant for another year, which is fine. We can figure out what to do with them after that. So let's at least look for moves for Clarkson and McConnell here. So the Clippers want to give me Chris Dunn in a first-round pick swap. Don't hate it. So let's go ahead and do that to start things off. So Clarkson is out of here. We get Chris Dunn, which he's on a 1+1. So we can get rid of his contract after this, which is totally fine by me. And then let's look for a trade with Stephen McConnell, because technically we have Alvarado as a backup point guard. I'll probably move Harper to point guard because I usually like playing him there, although we could leave him at the 2 as well. We'll figure it out. But I think is he... I'm not a big, college basketball watcher, obviously. I believe Harper is more of a point guard, but maybe he is more of a 2. I don't know. Let's go ahead and trade Stephen McConnell, though, and try to find a way to get rid of him, because I really just don't want him going forward. Jalen Smith in a first-round pick. I don't know if McConnell would go for that. Drew Eubanks in the first from the Clippers. So I guess the Clippers. Mexico City has Trace Jackson Davis, which is fun. Kobe Buffkin, which is interesting. Atlanta, I guess if they were going to try to get better, but we traded top 10 protected pick, which I'm good on. Then the Jazz, first rounder. And then there's Dallas giving me Caleb Martin and set in a first. Okay, I can get behind this with Dallas, but I guess I don't have a second round pick. First round pick for TJ McConnell. Are we behind that? I don't know. It's an unprotected 2029 Clippers pick or Lakers pick. I don't know if I get behind that. So let's try to be a little bit more realistic. I think that's a little too insane. I'm looking for at least 2 seconds. Like, that's what I'm kind of hoping for here. So the Raptors, I guess, if they wanted to get better, give me Ochai Agbaji, which I don't hate. So let's go ahead and give me just some seconds. I don't need a first round pick. I think it's a little too crazy. They really insisted on giving me a lot of protected first. You know what? You countered with that, so I was going to take it. So that's what we're going to do. So Alvarado, we brought in Ochai Agbaji, which will probably move to the 2, or actually move Ayo to the 2. We don't really need him playing backup 3, obviously. So Dosunmu, backup 2. Harper is going to go to point guard here in a second. Grant Star starting 3, and then Haywood Highsmith is here for now. We don't really have a power forward or a center. We should have some money to spend, but is there anybody worth spending on is usually the problem in this first free agency. Wait, why the hell is Brandon Miller here? What the hell is going on there? Why did the Hornets just, get rid of him? That doesn't make any sense. Do I just sign him, though? Like, Brandon Miller and Dylan Harper to start things off? I'd be... I don't know. I think I have to, right? Like, why the hell is Brandon Miller here unrestricted? Yeah, I guess. I don't even know why he's here. That's insane. But I'm going to do it. I'm not even going to ask questions. So Brandon Miller is going to be our first addition through free agency, which makes no sense at all, but he's here. And I'm going to sign a 5-man. I'm not going to go too crazy here yet. Just give me somebody decent enough. So we can give Jackson Hayes a deal, or we can go for a Capella as a veteran, which I don't hate the idea of. Let's give Capella a 2-year deal. Probably won't keep him long term, but Capella and Brandon Miller. I have no clue why Brandon Miller is even sitting here. But again, not even going to ask questions. We get Brandon Miller to pair with Dylan Harper. Yeah, feels good. So we'll do that. And that seems like a decent start for this rebuild. So let's go to player progression. That's going to be the start of the Hawaii franchise. Dylan Harper and Brandon Miller paired up together, which is just insanity. I have no idea Charlotte just let him walk. And we have to trade assets for him. So we can leave him at the 2 guard, but I'll probably move him to the 3. And then we'll figure out what to do with the rest of them. Obviously, we could move like a Baji or Haywood Highsmith to the 4 because we have nobody there right now. So Highsmith can go to the 4. Baji could go there too. Something like that. So that'll look fine. So Grant, Brandon Miller, Baji, Haywood Highsmith. But that needs to be fixed in the future. And I'll move Dylan Harper to point guard here. Actually, let's move him now. So Dylan Harper, go to point guard. And he goes down 2, which is a little annoying. But, I mean, he's going to develop enough. That's whatever. So point guard, shooting guard, something like that. And we'll go see what the roster's looking like, or the rotation's looking like, rather, for year number 2. So for right now, Power Rank still has us pretty low at 30th overall, which is totally fair. But let's take a look at our rotation. So Capella has actually come off the bench for Jalen Williams, which is interesting. But I guess, I don't know, we'll swap them. But Alvarado, and then why the hell is Dylan Harper? What's our proficiencies balanced, right? Why is Dylan Harper not starting? That doesn't make any sense. So let's fix that, because there's no need to start Alvarado right now. Dylan Harper needs to start, obviously. So go something like that. And we'll give Dylan Harper the starting nod here, obviously, for 31 minutes. So Brandon Miller, Dylan Harper, lead things off. And then I guess we'll just leave Jalen Williams the way it is. Shot tendencies out of the gate. So Brandon Miller's is a 74. I might leave it that way. And then Dylan Harper's is a, let's see, an 80 overall. So I'm going to leave them the way they are right now. I might push Brandon Miller's up just to an 80. Because I noticed in the past, I think I did it in a Hornets rebuild, I pushed his shot tendency up and it didn't really go too well. So we'll leave it as maybe like a third option type of dude if we bring in a second star. But my expectation is obviously another bad season coming our way. But if I stop the deadline or if I do anything, I will show you. But I'm very much looking forward to just having another bad season. And then draft is our best friend again. And then maybe some free agent is there that shouldn't be like Brandon Miller was, and we'll attack that too. Jokic wins MVP. Ace Bailey's your Rookie of the Year on the Mexico City flight. James Harden, 6th man, Wemby Defensive Player, and Day'Ron Sharpe, Most Improved, also on the Mexico City flight. So the Mexico City flight representing big time here. And here are the rest of your rewards. So All-NBA first team, All-NBA second. We got Kyrie Irving, who signed with Mexico City, actually, and averaged 30 points per game for them. So that's good for them. And then they also have Day'Ron Sharpe making All-Defensive first team. Wow, we could have signed... Oh, my goodness. Whoa. Damn, do I need to give Day'Ron Sharpe the keys to the starting spot one time? Ah, wow, he went off. 14, I think they literally showed that earlier. I just totally glossed over it. But 14 and 16, damn, okay. And I want to have blocks. Shout out to Day'Ron Sharpe. Damn, what a season. And then Ace Bailey's there too. So Mexico City's building something. Were they in the playoffs? They might as well have been, right? So, no, they were not, surprisingly. Interesting. Okay, so here are your player stats. You had 22 from Brandon Miller, 19 from Dylan Harper with 4 rebounds and 5 assists, 13 from Grant, 11 from Ayodosumu, 11 and 11 from Capella, 8 from Abaji, 6.5 from Jalen Williams, and 5 from Alvarado. So once again, we're not in the playoffs, which was kind of expected, obviously. You got San Antonio, Denver, San Antonio, OKC, and then Spurs in Cleveland, which is going to be a big versus big matchup. And the Spurs have the better big of the series, which is Wembanyama doing his thing. So LeBron James, Durant, and Russ both retire a Phoenix Sun, which is interesting. Obviously, retire on the same team, which is something I don't think anyone would ever expect. But we are actually decent, so we don't have the best odds at getting a good draft pick, unfortunately. So 2% chance of jumping up would be wild if we got lucky enough for that. But obviously not going to be the case. So we get pick 13, and then Thunder via Utah, Pelicans via Milwaukee, Rockets via Brooklyn. So I'm already seeing like 4 picks I need to fix, which is really annoying, but we'll fix that in just a second. Now, can I fire and can I get a better head coach here? So last time I started with Billy Donovan because we just don't have a lot. Oh, actually, we do have a good budget this time. What do I have to do to have a good budget? Maybe it's because I hired a head coach. Maybe that's why I can never get one of these good head coaches. But this time we might be able to get one, which is awesome. So this is great because we haven't been able to hire these guys. I've been managing my money totally wrong. So I'm going to give 2 offers to Nick Nurse and Joe Mazzulla to start things off. And then Popovich, you want to go coach a Hawaii team? Kind of like a vacation in a way, although you still have to travel to other cities, obviously. You know what? Screw it. Let's offer Popovich a contract. Let's see what happens. So Nick Nurse does accept, which we could go Mazzulla too. So which one would we rather have? Nick Nurse is more balanced, I guess. So we're going to go Nick Nurse to be our head coach for this Hawaii Honu. And now let's go to draft night and let's go fix those draft picks. And then we'll be ready to kind of figure out what we're going to do with pick 13. So here we are on draft night after we fixed those picks. And I kind of want to make an aggressive trade here instead of just drafting with pick 13. So I'm going to go ahead and offer Jeremy Grant's contract here and my 13th overall pick. And the team I want to talk to is actually the Cleveland Cavaliers for Jarrett Allen's services. So Obviously, they have Evan Mobley, so I feel like Jarrett Allen could be kind of an expendable piece for them. So I want to see what they'd say to something like this. So Grant and 13 for Jarrett Allen straight up probably doesn't go through, but let's offer it anyway. So they say no to that to start things off. We have Dylan Harper, who we're obviously not going to throw in the trade, and we have nobody else to throw in here other than Capella, which he's just making too much money. So let's say we do a second 15, and then that Raptors pick we got, which we shouldn't have. What does that do for Cleveland? Do they get closer to accepting it? No. And then last but not least, maybe another second? No. What about another first round pick we got from another team? What do you say to that? No. Okay, what about our own first round pick? What do you say to that? No. Okay, so Jarrett Allen's not going to work. That's fine. Let's just pick a 13, and that's totally cool too. So picking 13, we have Nate, Amit, Mikal Brown, who's a point guard. So we could have an interesting backcourt, Mikal Brown and Harper one day. Jasper Johnson, Caden Boozer. Do we want Nate, who we kind of need a power forward anyway? So I think I am going to take Nate Amit here out of Virginia. So welcome to the Honu. And you got Ted Cooper and Dennis Bender, which we'll sign both of them as well. So welcome both of you, all of you. We'll decline Chris Dunn. Alvarado declines and we'll accept Catchings, obviously. And then qualifying offers, Abaji. Probably won't extend the qualifying offer on him. $14 million is a little too expensive. Okay. So here is your long list of free agents, which there's some guys I'd be interested in, but if we can spend our money elsewhere, then I think we got to, right? So Harper, Brandon Miller, and then Jeremy Grant's contract is unfortunately still here, but we could technically form a really good big three with this amount of cap room I assume we have. So do we have Luka type money? We do not. If we get rid of Grant, maybe. I'm not going for Luka. I was just kind of curious if we had enough money for him. So Brandon Miller, Dylan Harper, who would be a good second or third complement to those two? Obviously, Paulo would be awesome, or Jalen Williams, or Chet, but more than likely those guys will get matched, and it just won't happen. Trae Young, no. Kessler, Harden, Randall, Mikal, Duran, I've gotten before. Eason, I've gotten before. Ivy, Sharp is interesting. Collins. Ooh, I actually kind of... Jaden Sharp definitely is kind of interesting to me. Did I get him in the Vegas video, though? I did the first time. The video you guys didn't see, but I don't remember if I got him again. I might stay away from that just in case I did, because I feel like I've had Sharp in a video lately, but that might have just been from the video you guys didn't see. I told you guys I had to re-record it the first time I did get Shaden Sharp. But all right, so let's first start off by trying to get rid of this Grant contract. I think that's the best thing we could possibly do for ourselves right now. So this trade is pretty interesting, where we send Jeremy Grant, Catchings, and a line protected first over to the Hornets to get Bryce Sensabaugh, which kind of intriguing. I mean, he just shot 37% from three last year and averaged 12 points, up to 79 overall, and only 22 years old. So kind of like the idea of that. Can we find a way not to take on Josh Green's contract? No, they have to include it. Okay, no big deal. So let's throw Josh Green back in here. And now that we do that, the trade's going to be different, but let's offer it. So now they want another first. We'll get a first. Nah, I don't want to get that crazy. So let's go back to the same offer. So it was kind of the same offer, but the reason why I added Catchings in this pick, because, you know, if someone's taking this pick on, then, or taking Grant's contract on, then they should get compensated for it. So this does still save us a bunch of money. We're obviously sitting out like 39 million, give or take. We're only bringing back like 22 or something like that. So we're going to do this and be happy with it. So Bryce Sensabaugh, I think, is a really good addition. And I think he's tall enough, right? Oh no, he's a lot shorter than I thought. I thought he was taller than that for some reason. But Sensabaugh is still a really good backup three, no matter how you slice it. Josh Green could be moved back to the 2 probably, since we don't have anybody there. So let's move Josh Green to the 2 right now. He will go down, but whatever. He's still... Wait. Or just kidding. I selected Dylan Harper. I'm like, how the hell is Josh Green 20 years old? So Josh Green, what was I trying? Oh, secondary position. That's what I was trying to do. So we can go back to small forward on that. So that looks good. So now I have Brendan Miller and then Sensabaugh is your rotational 3, and we just saved a bunch of money. So I like that. Harper, Brendan Miller. And then we need to figure out what front, I mean, preferably in the front court. So I am going to go ahead and throw an offer sheet at Paulo. I'm very much aware that I'm probably not going to get him, but Paulo and Chet would be pretty cool if we can get one of them, but more than likely we will not. But I'm going to try either anyway. And then we might look at wave 2 to see if there's anybody interesting to us. So Chet does accept our offer, but Thunder are going to match it. So they did. And Paulo decided to just resign. Okay. So Jaren Jackson is an interesting option too, which I don't hate it, but I don't want to go for him today. Jalen Duran, 22, the youngest one here. Jaden Ivey is somebody I don't go after very often. 18 and 35, or then there's Shaden Sharp. I can't remember if I've had him in a video lately, but I know I could get him, and he'd be awesome to have. Or even Benedict Mathurin, but Doesn't really go up in overall very much. So I don't even remember if I had Shaden Sharp in a video lately, but I'm gonna throw him an offer sheet anyway, because if we steal him for Portland, he would obviously be like, he could be our second option to Dylan Harper. So, and I'm pretty sure I had a Dylan Harper, Shaden Sharp backcourt in the Blazers video I did a while back, but we can do it again here in Hawaii. So something like that. So we'll renounce everybody else pretty much, so we can renounce these two, and that will give us a clean cap sheet. So Shaden Sharp, even if we don't keep Shaden Sharp the whole time and I move him for something else, we can maybe look into that too. Daron Sharp just had a damn good season with Mexico City, so sign me up for some Daron Sharp action. I'm going to give him a 3-year deal, a long-term contract, and he's going to sign with us. So I love that based off the season he just brought in. So I would even love to make him a starter one day if possible. If he brings that every night, really can't hate him being the starter. So we just need a backup point guard and a backup 4. So give me, or is there a good backup 4? We have Kenrich Williams, Jenkins, and David Roddy. I guess give me Guy Santos, I guess, on a 1-year deal. He's from Brazil, so we'll take that. And then the backup point guard, we can go Ryan Rollins. Actually, we don't have enough money for that. So Guy Santos is going to be our power forward brought in. And then we can go like Cameron Payne on a minimum. Something like that. Okay, not bad. I'll take the Shaden Sharp edition. That should help out a ton. I might trade him, though, just because, like I said, I feel like I've had a Sharp and Harper backcourt build before, so might do something different. But he'll be good for now. Sensabaugh is up to an 82, so I feel like that was a very underrated addition to this team. So love that. Sharp's up to an 80. So, like I said, man, if Daron Sharp wants to repeat what he did last year, I'm not complaining. So we have the Sharps now, the same offseason. Let's go take a look at the rotation for year number 3. So we're going to be 3.5 balanced, and the starting 5 actually looks pretty interesting. They want to start Brendan Miller at the 4, I think, or Sensabaugh at the 4, which I don't hate. I know it's like Sensabaugh isn't tall enough, but I can rock with this. So it's going to be Harper, Sharp, Brendan Miller, Sensabaugh, Daron Sharp, Capella, Josh Green, Guy Santos, and Nate. I can rock with this, actually. I think this is a pretty solid rotation. So other than that, shot tendencies, obviously Brendan Miller's 84, Sharp's is 73, and then, so I think I might switch these around. So 85, we'll go touch tendency. Actually, let's keep Brandon Miller at 80. So we just need to switch these around. So I'm going to go Brandon Miller at 73. And I'm going to go Shaden Sharp at like 82. Something like that. We'll see how that goes. And again, if I do trade Shaden Sharp for something different, just to have a kind of a different backcourt, I'll show you. But let's just see how this goes. I'm excited to see. So we'll give Bryce Sensabaugh a similar shot tendency as well to Brandon Miller. So we'll see how those two do. But I'm excited, man. I think this could be a very fun and good team, and so far it starts well. So I will see you guys either at the end of the season if we don't do anything, or at the deadline if I decide to make some kind of change. We're actually at the trade deadline. I'm about to make an interesting change right now. So instead of actually trading away Shaden Sharp, I actually might trade away Brandon Miller. So we just got him through free agency, and I know trading him is kind of an interesting decision, but Franz Wagner being offered is interesting. I don't trade for him very often in rebuilds, and he's obviously a lot taller, and the Sensabaugh addition got me thinking that Sensabaugh could be our starting 3 throughout the video, or maybe even eventually move to our starting 2 guard spot. But Franz Wagner is 6'10", could easily play the power forward spot for us, which is why I like the idea of this. So we're going to make this swap. So obviously Brandon Miller would also fit next to Paul Banchero extremely well with his shooting. So we get Wendell Carter and Capella swapped, and Carter actually has 2 years left in his deal, so we don't have to extend. And he actually has 3 years left if we decide to keep him. So yeah, I'm behind this. Let's do it. So Franz Wagner for Brendan Miller, Wendell Carter, Capella as well. So that makes things very interesting. So Franz Wagner goes down to an 88, which is ridiculous. Moving him to the 4 is like, how the hell does that go down? I don't even care. He can stay at a 90 at least. Why did he just go down 3 overall at power forward? That's really stupid. So Franz Wagner is now our starting power forward, which I like that. So we'll keep that. Sensabaugh is going to be the 3 now, and he's averaging 15 and 38% from 3, which is why I feel like Sensabaugh could maybe even be our starting 2 if we decide to move him there, because he's 6'5" and could really fit well. Shaden Sharp's having a great season for us too, but this is kind of an interesting dynamic now. So, and then Daron Sharp is averaging 9 and 8, so not quite as much as he was doing, but he's still averaging a block. So I still think he's a serviceable starting center. I don't think I've ever had him as my starting center in a video, so I'm kind of curious to see how that would go today if we kept it that way. All right, so let's see if there's anything for Shaden Sharp we like. If there's a good small forward, I think I'd jump on it, but we'll see. We could also move Sharp to the 3 and he'd go up, so that's not a bad idea either. But this is just kind of an interesting shift if we decide to do it. So Nembhard, Siakam, nah. Jalen Duren, nah. Fox, nah. Booker, ooh, that's interesting. But Yeah, I don't know. I think that's I'm not going to do that. Jordan Poole. Okay. So, yeah, I think I might just leave it. I just might leave it at that. So, we're going to leave the Franz Wagner edition the way it is right now. So, it's Harper, Shaden Sharp, Sensabaugh, Franz Wagner, Dayron Sharp, Wendell Carter, Josh Green, Guy Santos, and Nate Ament. And then we might be able to move Nate or one of these guys to the 3. So, Nate goes down or goes up to 78. So, let's do it. So, he'll go up to a 78 overall, which might bench Sensabaugh. It doesn't. That's good. So, Sensabaugh is going to stay as a starting 3, which I like, and we'll continue to simulate the season. Now, we're not great. We're 7 games under 500. I don't know if Franz Wagner is going to change anything for us, but I like the addition. So we'll see how much that changes for us. I'll see you at the end of year 3, and we'll see if we can maybe turn this around and make the play-in at least. That'd be cool. So Wemby wins MVP, Boozer's Rookie of the Year, DiVincenzo 6-man. Wemby also wins defensive, and then Liam McNeely Most Improved, Cade's your clutch player, and Greg Popovich Coach of the Year. So I'm assuming we're not going to have anybody on here, but oh no, we get Dylan Harper. So Dylan Harper makes it in his 2nd season, which is great. Shooting still isn't the best, but maybe that'll develop in the 3rd season. So not in the playoffs or the play-in once again, which sucks. I would have loved to have been there, but all good. So 22 from Shaden Sharp, 21.5 from Harper, and then 20 from Franz Wagner, who came in and made an impact. 15 from Sensabaugh, 10 and 8 from Sharp with a block as well. So let's go ahead and somebody the playoffs, and let's see how this one rolls out. So we got San Antonio, Houston, and then it's going to be San Antonio first to Detroit, and the Spurs win back-to-back, I believe. I believe they beat Cleveland last year. Okay, so for the lottery, I don't even think we ever... Do we ever pick it? Or it looks like we do. So projected 3% chance, more than likely not jumping up, obviously. So we end up with pick 13. So staff signing, we'll keep Nick Nurse the way it is. Now for draft night. So I think the main thing is obviously figuring out what we do with Sharp. I kind of want to move on from him. Not that he's done anything wrong, but just to have kind of a different player in here than I feel like I've had him recently. So I'm going to see what I can get for Shaden Sharp just to change things up. Maybe I get a different small forward or whatever, and then we'll kind of have a new dynamic going into next season. The one interesting option I had in my head to maybe trade Sharp for, someone I don't get all that often, and I'm wondering if we can get Jaden McDaniels off of them. Obviously, he doesn't score as much, but we know what he brings defensively and the size he would bring. So I'm going to see if we can make this swap. Shaden Sharp for Jaden McDaniels. They say no to start things off. What if I trade you? Let's trade this, maybe not this pick, but let's say we did this 76ers pick. And they agree. So just like that, we got Jaden McDaniels as our new starting small forward, which sounds fun. That's going to move Sensabaugh to the starting 2 spot. And then Franz Wagner, Guy Santos, Wendell Carter, and Dayron Sharp. Problem is I don't know if our center position is going to be good enough, but I like it. I kind of want to see how that would go. And I guess one thing we could say is if their center position isn't good enough at the deadline, then maybe we make a move for it at the deadline. Because I want to be in the playoffs next year. We're going to go Diop here out of Kentucky. But McDaniels gives us just kind of a different look. So welcome to Hawaii. And then we'll decline both of these guys. And then Guy Santos is a free agent, but we could bring him back or whatever. So backup power forward, we have Aaron Wiggins, which I don't hate the idea of, or Champagny. Prospers here, Tijon Salon, which is kind of fun. Mohamed Guy, Leonard Miller. So, okay, what do we need? We definitely need a power forward. Or I guess we need a shooting guard too, which that's going to be sensible here in just a second. So we need a backup. Well, Diop could play backup for us, so we can rock with that. So we need a backup point guard and a backup shooting guard, basically. So let's just look in the backcourt. So Jaden Hardy, Tyler Kolek. Tyler Kolek on a minimum is actually really good value. So we'll do that. And we can bring in Nah as the 2-year or as the backup shooting guard. So we'll go with that, and that should work out fine. That'll be fine, and then we'll move things around here in just a second. But let's see what player progression looks like after that. So now we're going to have Franz Wagner as definitely the second scorer. So there's no, like, tug of war with Shaden Sharp and Franz Wagner. It's obviously going to be Dylan Harper and Franz Wagner leading the way, and there'll be no debate. And then I guess Sensabaugh will be kind of our third option, which I like the idea of, and I'll move him to the 2 in just a second. But let's go look at the rotation for year number 4. I'm excited. The bench utilization is going down to 50 with a 9-man rotation of Harper, Bryce Sensabaugh, Jaden McDaniels, Franz Wagner, Wendell Carter, Nate, Dayron Sharp, Kolek, and Nickeil Alexander-Walker. So like I told you, if things struggle a little bit, deadline, we might be stopping to make some type of trade for a center. But I want Franz and Dylan Harper to obviously lead the way here. So let's see if these two can become some playoff performance here and really lead, or I guess, guys that can lead us to the postseason. So we'll see how it goes. Starting off, we start off pretty rough, but we can maybe go to 500 here in just a second. I'm expecting things to turn around. Obviously, this will eventually turn around. and we'll be in the playoffs. I'm not worried about the start. We're starting, well, I don't know. Maybe I should be worried, but I'll see you guys at the end of year 4, and there we go. Nope, not at 500 yet. It'll get there. Don't worry. So at the end of the season, Wimby wins MVP. We got Keto winning Rookie of the Year in Mexico City. AJ Ban's a 6-man winning defensive player. Boogie Flam most improved. And Harper is your clutch player, averaging 26 and 8. So obviously, he's been the one to step up for us. Here's your All-NBA first team. All-NBA second team is we have Harper here, and All-NBA third team. All-Defensive first team and All-Defensive second team. So that's all really cool. Cool to see. And then we are the 3rd seed in the West. So here are your player stats. You had 26 from Harper, 26 from Franz Wagner. So really cool stuff there. 18 from Sensabaugh as our 3rd scorer. And then Nate off the bench with 15 too. So nice. 11 from J.R. Wendell Carter and 9 from McDaniels. 8 and 7 from Daron Sharp. So all good. I did not make a trade for a center because the season did eventually turn around. So if our downfall is here, I do think, the next position to look at is the center position. But I do think we're a contender here. I think Harper and Franz can lead us to the championship, but we'll see if we can make it happen. So, Clippers in round 1, who have Ben Simmons, Jalen Green, Kawhi, Boyles, Zubac, Bobby Portis, Robert Williams, and Cameron Johnson. So, someone to come around against the Clippers, and we get swept. Wow, we didn't even stand a chance. I wonder how that went about. So, Zubac must have had, he averaged 8 and 10. I'm about to say Zubac must have dominated our centers. I don't know. But for whatever reason, that team was not good enough. So I like it, but I guess, like I said, the one position we definitely need some improvement at is the 5. So I think that's what we'll look for. Warriors and Cavaliers, and Warriors go on with Jokic. They have, oh yeah, Steph and Jokic are teammates. Interesting. Okay, so 5 position. We're going to look at that. I think that's the one move we need to make this offseason, and then we should be good, I think, to go win a championship next year, hopefully. There's a 28th pick, but I'm going to let the assistant GM take care of that. And I need to accept Wendell Carter's $21 million before I do anything else, because then Kolek's a free agent, which I guess if he comes back, he comes back. We don't really have, I guess, wait, who do we have money? Oh, Sensabaugh. Yeah, we got to re-sign Sensabaugh here in just a second, which I'm going to give him an offer already. And then is there anybody else? So we have, okay, just Sensabaugh. All right. So what center could we trade for is the question. Let's go look at kind of the list here. So Porzingis, Duran, Zubac, who just beat us in the playoff series, Jarrett Allen, we tried for earlier, Mark Williams, Derek Lively. Lively would be fun. We'll see if we can get Derek Lively. I doubt it, but it's worth a shot. So I'll offer Wendell Carter. We need $5 more in this trade. I guess we can do Diop or Nickeil Alexander-Walker. We can trade like our whole future to get Derek Lively. If it means getting Lively, that'd be cool. And we can go Sutton, who might. Oh, wow, that was actually pretty easy. That was a little easier than I thought it would be, but. Wendell Carter, Alexander Walker, 2 firsts, and Tyler Sutton gets us Derek Lively. And I said that was a position we needed to upgrade, and we did just that. So that feels good. So now I have Daron Sharp and Lively as our center rotation. Franz and Diop. So Diop should develop enough to be fine with power forward. Nate McDaniels, and then we just need to sign Sensabaugh and a guard, and we should be good. KJ Simpson or Javon Smalls or JD Davidson, whatever. These are guys I don't often sign very often. So AJ Lawson, who's on a very cheap contract. So Sensabaugh and AJ Lawson feels good. But like I said, the only position that was kind of a concern was, in fact, the point guard spot. So, the center position. Now, backup point guard was a concern. But Kolek might come back on his qualifying offer, which makes that free agency signing we just made kind of stupid. So, and there he is. Kolek comes back. But I guess they can fight over it. So, Diop's up to a 79. Nate's up to an 86, which is very sneaky good. Harper and Franz Wagner up. And obviously, Lively coming in should make a difference, a big impact on our 5 spot, instead of Wendell Carter being the starter. So we'll see how that goes, if that makes an interesting shift, but we'll see what we're looking like at the end of year 5. But I do think a championship could be coming our way. Fingers crossed. The Wimby wins MVP, Arenas Rookie of the Year, Mikael Brown, 6-man. We had the chance to draft him earlier, and he's up to an 85 overall. I think we took, is that the time we took Nate instead? It may not be the same time, but Dylan Harper makes All-NBA first team, averaging 28 and 9, so that's fantastic. And then Franz Wagner made it as well. All-NBA second, 27, 39% from 3. So pretty good duo if you ask me, but obviously all that matters is bringing home the Larry O'Brien. So here are your player stats. 28 from Harper, 27 from Franz, 16 from Bryce Sensabaugh, who's been a really good addition. So happy to have got him, shooting 43% from 3. Damn, shout out to Bryce Sensabaugh. And then 15 from Nate, who's up to an 87. Lively, 11, 9, and 2 blocks. All right. Here goes nothing. So we haven't even won a playoff series yet. We do draw Utah, who has Cooper Flagg and AJ DeBanza. Okay. And Sar. That's a little terrifying. Not even going to lie. So this is going to be an interesting series to start things off. They're up 1-0. Are we gonna get swept again, dude? Okay, are we gonna, I mean, just, you really could not have drawn a worse matchup in round one. Like, what kind of duo is that? Flag and Aged Banza paired together. That's just, and Star on top of that. That feels dirty. Okay, so we've gotten round one twice, which feels very upsetting. So I'm going to go one more year. I think we go one more year on this. And I'm going to also fire Nick Nurse. I'm not saying it's his fault necessarily, but things have not gone well under him at all. So we're going to get rid of him and go for somebody different and see if there's something else we can do. So let's go for like Ime Udoka. See if he'll sign with us right away. He does. So Udoka's the new coach. And we'll see. I don't think I'll be making much changes this offseason. I want to run it back with a new coach and just hope that brings us better luck, I guess. Because not even winning a playoff series so far has been very disappointing, to say the least. We got to re-sign a couple of guys, but that's fine. So we'll bring everybody back. I'll see you guys with another season because I'm not ready to give up just yet. We ran it back with a new head coach, and we'll see how it goes. Thankfully, we don't draw Utah in round one, but we got the second seed again. We haven't even gotten close to winning a playoff series. The stats are pretty similar other than Nate's up to an 18 point per game average, so I guess we're going to have to see how it goes. So we draw the Minnesota Timberwolves, who obviously we gave them Shaedon Sharpe earlier. They have Collier, Avicic. I mean, they have a good team, so fingers crossed we can at least win a damn series today, because that would be brutal if we can't even win one today, and we will be up. Okay, we won. We did it. We won a playoff series. That's all I needed, at least. Okay, just kidding. I need a championship too, but man, would I have been discouraged if we just never even got close to winning, never even got close to winning a series. But we draw San Antonio, which is obviously a tough matchup in its own right. So good luck to us, but here we go. Game one goes to San Antonio. Game two, we even it up. Game three goes to them. Game four goes to us. Okay, so we got a big game five ahead of us. So let's see if we can't win game five and take the 3-2 advantage back to San Antonio. They're right on our tail, so I'm not out of the woods yet, but we will win game five going up 3-2. So conference finals could be in the sights if we're able to win game six and avoid a game seven, which would be the best thing possible for us. I would love to avoid a game seven against Wemby. We might be able to, or no. We looked like we're about to get close enough. My hands are freaking sweating, by the way. So let's see if we can't win game seven. So game seven at home in Hawaii. Let's not let the Spurs beat us here, man. Let's get to the conference finals. We have a nice lead. They're going to get back, and we are going to have a nice lead again. I think we did it. Maybe. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. We're not out of the woods yet. Don't blow it. Okay, we did. Let's go. We won in 7. We've made it to the conference finals, and now we get to play Houston or OKC, and it's the Rockets. So the Rockets have Brandon McCoy, Will Riley, Elijah Williams, Ahmed Thompson, Şengün, Eason, Cam Whitmore, and Noah Clowney. It's a good team. So game 1 goes to them. Game 2, they go up 2-0. Game 3. So it looks like the conference finals and being swept is as far as we're going to get today, potentially. Unless a 3-0 comeback is in the cards, but I have my doubts about something like that happening for us right now. And they're going to blow us out here. So that's really unfortunate. So conference finals is as close as we're going to get with the Hawaii team, unfortunately. Which really sucks because I felt like this was a good team, but it just didn't go well in the 2K sim. Let's at least look at what our home court looks like, at least with this creator. See how cool it looks. Not bad looking. I like the colors, honestly. But let's see what we can do here. We obviously lost, so Cameron Whitmore is going to give it to Tar Eason back to McCoy. I mean, this was a good team that Houston had, so can't be too discouraged, but it does get, does suck getting swept to end this video off. I would have loved to have seen us make it, obviously, to the finals, but what can you do, right? So Franz Wagner screen. See if I can knock down a shot here. Sensabaugh. Nope, not going to go in. So that'll be all she wrote. Swept by the Houston Rockets to end the video, but at least we put together a fun team, and it just didn't work. So I hope you guys enjoy the video. I will see y'all in the next one. Let me know if you guys are tired of the expansion rebuilds and want to see something different. That's fine too, but I've had a lot of fun with them. But I'm going to end it there. This is Crushables, saying peace. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.